Near as they drew, Tydides thus began: "What art thou, boldest of the race of man? Our eyes till now that aspect ne'er beheld, where fame is reaped amid the embattled field. Yet far before the troops thou darest appear, and meet a lance the fiercest heroes fear. Unhappy they, and born of luckless sires, who tempt our fury when Minerva fires. But if from heaven celestial thou descend, know with immortals we no more contend. Not long like Hergus viewed the golden light, that daring man who mixed with gods in fight. Bacchus and Bacchus's votaries he drove with brandished steel from Nissa's sacred grove. There consecrated spears lay scattered round, with curling vines and twisted ivy bound, while Bacchus headlong sought the briny flood, and Thetis' arms received the trembling god. Nor failed the crime the immortals' wrath to move, the immortals blessed with endless ease above. Deprived of sight by their avenging doom, cheerless he breathed, and wandered in the gloom, then sunk unpitied to the dire abodes, a wretch accursed and hated by the gods. I brave not heaven, but if the fruits of earth sustain thy life, and human be thy birth, bold as thou art, too prodigal of breath, approach and enter the dark gates of death." "What? Or from whence I am, or who my sire?" replied the chief. "Can Tydeus' son inquire? Like leaves on trees the race of man is found, not green, now green in youth, now withering on the ground. Another race the following spring supplies, they fall successive and successive rise. So generations in their course decay, so flourish these when those are passed away. But if thou still persist to search my birth, then hear a tale that fills the spacious earth. A city stands on Argos' utmost bound, Argos the fair, for warlike steeds renowned. Aeolian Sisyphus, with wisdom blessed, in ancient time the happy wall possessed. Then called Ephyre, Glaucus was his son, great Glaucus, father of Bellerophon, who o'er the sons of men in beauty shined, love for that valor which preserves mankind. Then mighty Pritus Argos' scepter swayed, whose hard commands Bellerophon obeyed. With direful jealousy the monarch raged, and the brave prince in numerous toils engaged. From him Antea burned with lawless flame, and strove to tempt him from the paths of fame. In vain she tempted the relentless youth, endued with wisdom, sacred fear, and truth. Fired at his scorn, the queen to Pritus fled, and begged revenge for her insulted bed. Incensed he heard, resolving on his fate, but hospitable laws restrained his hate. To Lycia the devoted youth he sent, with tablets sealed that told his dire intent. Now blessed by every power who guards the good, the chief arrived at Xanthus' silver flood. There Lycia's monarch paid him honors due. 9 days he feasted, and 9 bulls he slew. But when the 10th bright morning orient glowed, the faithful youth his monarch's mandate showed. The fatal tablets, till that instant sealed, the deathful secret to the king revealed. First, dire Chimera's conquest was enjoined, a mingled monster of no mortal kind. Behind, a dragon's fiery tail was spread, a goat's rough body bore a lion's head. Her pitchy nostrils flaky flames expire, her gaping throat emits infernal fire. This pest he slaughtered, for he read the skies, and trusted heaven's informing prodigies. Then met in arms the Solymian crew, fiercest of men, and those the warrior slew. Next the bold Amazon's whole force defied, and conquered still, for heaven was on his side. Nor ended here his toils, his Lycian foes at his return, a treacherous ambush rose, with levelled spears along the winding shore. There fell they breathless, and returned no more. At length the monarch, with repentant grief, confessed the gods and god-descended chief. His daughter gave the stranger to detain, with half the honours of his ample reign. The Lycians grant a chosen space of ground, with woods, with vineyards, and with harvest crowned. There long the chief his happy lot possessed, with 2 brave sons and 1 fair daughter blessed. Fair e'en with heavenly eyes, her fruitful love, crowned with Sarpedon's birth the embrace of Jove. But when at last, distracted in his mind, forsook by heaven, forsaking humankind, wide o'er the Ilian field he chose to stray, a long, forlorn, uncomfortable way. Woes heaped on woes consumed his wasted heart, his beauteous daughter fell by Phoebe's dart. His eldest born by raging Mars was slain in combat on the Selimian plain. Hippolochus survived. From him I came, the honored author of my birth and name. By his decree I sought the Trojan town, by his instructions learned to win renown, to stand with the first in worth as in command, to add new honors to my native land. Before my eyes my mighty sires to place and emulate the glories of our race. He spoke, and transport filled Tydides' heart. In earth the generous warrior fixed his dart. Then friendly thus the Lycian prince addressed, "Welcome, my brave hereditary guest. Thus ever let us meet with kind embrace. Now stain the sacred friendship of our race. No, chief, our grandsires have been guests of old. Aeneas the strong, Bellerophon the bold. Our ancient seat his honored presence graced, where 20 days in genial rites he passed. The parting heroes mutual presents left. A golden goblet was thy grandsire's gift. Aeneas a belt of matchless work bestowed, that rich with Tyrian dye refulgent glowed. This from his pledge I learned, which safely stored among my treasures still adorns my board. For Tydeus left me young when Thebes' wall beheld the sons of Greece untimely fall. Mindful of this, in friendship let us join. If heaven our steps to foreign lands incline, my guest in Argos thou, and I in Lycia thine. Enough of Trojans to this land shall yield, in the full harvest of yon ample field. Enough of Greeks shall dye thy spear with gore, but thou and Diomedes be foes no more. Now change we arms, and prove to either host we guard the friendship of the line we boast." Thus having said, the gallant chiefs alight, their hands they join, their mutual faith they plight. Brave Glaucus then each narrow thought resigned. Jove warmed his bosom and enlarged his mind. For Diomedes' brass arms, of mean device, for which 9 oxen paid a vulgar price, he gave his own, of gold divinely wrought. 100 beeves the shining purchase bought. Meantime the guardian of the Trojan state, great Hector, entered at the Scaean gate. Beneath the beech tree's consecrated shades, the Trojan matrons and the Trojan maids around him flocked, all pressed with pious care, for husbands, brothers, sons engaged in war. He bids the train in long procession go and seek the gods to avert the impending woe. And now to Priam's stately courts he came, raised on arched columns of stupendous frame. O'er these a range of marble structure runs, the rich pavilions of his 50 sons. In 50 chambers lodged, and rooms of state, opposed to those where Priam's daughters sate. 12 domes for them, and their loved spouses shone, of equal beauty and of polished stone. Hither great Hector passed, nor passed unseen of royal Hecuba his mother queen. With her Laodice, whose beauteous face surpassed the nymphs of Troy's illustrious race.